It was during COVID. I purchased the farm property, which was 18 acres, plus the farmhouse compound in fall of 2020. I was very drawn to the fact that so many of the historic buildings were all intact, that it created both architecture and showed a very particular relationship with the outdoor yards, which really intrigued me. And on top of that, I was very interested in knowing who lived here, who was the family that lived here, and I wanted to know that story. And it was after that time that I began to learn more about Frank Sherman through the Grange and through Janet Mackin as the historian at the Grange. And as I delved deeper into that, I recognized that he was such a significant figure in the community that I wanted to continue that research. And I ended up filing an addendum to the National Register nomination to make sure that we captured and memorialized his achievements in his life as part of the nomination. And then the property's name was changed to the Sweet-Sherman Homestead to recognize that.
In 2024, as historian, I thought it was very important to capture the history of the Copake Grange. There's a lot of history there, and it comes mostly from the minutes. So from those minutes, I decided we'd look at the period from 1902 to 1922, the most eventful time of the Grange. New building, pandemic, World War. There's so many things that happened that year. I thought that was the focus we should have. But the book, of course, starts with the first master of the Grange, and that's Frank Sherman. This is a picture of him when he was probably later in life. He was a young man when he became the master of the Grange, and he was beloved. He lived on a Sweet Farm. That was his grandparents' place, and he was very committed to farming, scientific farming, worked with the Cornell Cooperative, and really wanted to bring knowledge to the local farmers.
The Sweet-Sherman Homestead was located about 2.9 miles northwest of the hamlet. So it was a relatively short distance, but a treacherous drive on what were then dirt roads and muddy roads up until very late.
So it's 1903, and Frank Sherman, our master, is coming to the Grange from his home, which is the Sweet Farm, several miles down the road from here. How would he have been coming here? Well, maybe horse and buggy, maybe a wagon. Come down this road, which would have been mud probably at that time, especially at this time of year, the spring. And he would have pulled up in his wagon, his buggy, and he would probably have put it over here on the right. It would have been empty. The schoolhouse didn't come along till 1922. Plenty of room in that time of 1903. Horse and buggies and carriages over here.